Hey everybody. So one of the biggest mindset blocks that I hear from one of the biggest one of the biggest mindset blocks that I hear from people who are thinking about joining us here at the Jai Institute for Parenting and becoming a parenting coach is this pervasive idea of who am I to? Who am I to be a parenting coach when I just yelled at my daughter yesterday? Who am I to be a parenting coach or tell other parents how to parent their kids? Who am I to pretend to know what's best for someone else's family? We could wrap this whole line of thinking up in one idea, which is that of imposter syndrome. And imposter syndrome is a very common very common thing that happens for people. I actually read that Meryl Streep still thinks like, how are people paying me to be in this movie? They're going to find me out to be a terrible actor. And so it's just really understandable that we all have these very common thought patterns that keep us from actually stepping into our purpose, into our mission, into our destiny. And more importantly, keep us from having the ability to help people, to impact around our area of passion. And so my name is Kiva Schuler. I'm the CEO here at the Jai Institute for Parenting. And here, our mission, this mission, is about changing the world by changing the way that parenting is done. Helping parents, there are so many parents who want to shift out of the old way of parenting, which is the dominant, power over, do as I say, not as I do, using control and manipulation and tactics to get our children to behave a certain way, into a more empowered relationship with our children where we're in relationship with them, where we are using conscious communication, emotional intelligence, where we're teaching values, where our primary parenting tool is communication versus manipulation, and where we actually show parents exactly how to parent effectively, to raise amazing kids without resorting to the old tactics of punishments and consequences and power over and diminishing little souls. So that's our mission. And, so many people are interested in this and want to join us in becoming parenting coaches, and yet are up against that inevitable, who am I to? So I wanted to address that a little bit today. So I've been a coach since 2009. And what I know is that my lack of perfection, my willingness to show my mess, to tell it like it is, to tell the truth about what's happening in my life makes me a far more powerful leader than broadcasting some idea that I've got it all figured out and it's all perfect here. Perfection is a lie. According to whom? There is no perfection. There's only authenticity. I'll say that again. There is no perfection. There's only authenticity. And so from my perspective, when you say yes to becoming a coach, you're actually showing a willingness to let go of this idea that we can only show the parts of ourselves to the world that are perfect and shiny and, that we've gotten validation for in our past, and saying, here's all of me and it's all worthy. And oh, by the way, you get to love all of you too. Being a parenting coach is not about being a perfect parent. In fact, that would make you really out of reach for people and unavailable to meet them where they are. And so you can let go of any idea that you have to be some kind of super parent to do this work effectively. In fact, I would say quite the opposite. The more real you are, the better. Now, that being said, I think it's really important to understand what coaching is and what coaching is not. So if you think about the idea of being a coach in any context, right, whether you're being a coach of a basketball team or a executive coach, essentially our role is to allow our client, another person, to claim what they want for themselves, to set intentions for whatever area of expertise that we have. So if you were a fitness coach, you would help your clients set fitness goals. As parenting coaches, we help our clients set parenting goals. And then we provide them the training, the accountability, the tough love support or the super loving support, depending on what's happening with that particular person, for that person to actually follow through on their intentions, to celebrate their successes, and to actually create the change that they want. And so what's amazing about that is, as parenting coaches, we're not here to tell other people to parent. In fact, many of our coaches will tell stories about, having clients who, still use more punitive measures, and their role is to help them maybe do that less, right? Not to judge, not to make wrong, not to assert our personal values on another family. They get to choose that for themselves. We're the conduit. And of course, over time, here our hope is that the peaceful parenting practices that we choose are far more successful. And so people are more and more comfortable letting go of punishments, of consequences, of spanking, if that's still happening, which it is in some houses. And we just want to make the world better and better and better. So I feel like I'm digressing. I do that sometimes. Who are you to be a parenting coach? You're somebody that cares about parenting. You're somebody that cares deeply about kids. You're someone who has a dream, and I say to people all the time, if you keep your dreams big, your worries will stay small. It makes me sad that there are people in the world that have a dream to do something with their lives that don't have the opportunity to follow through on those dreams. And so if you have a dream of becoming a parenting coach, whether it's here at Jai or one of the other amazing training organizations out in the world, I would invite you to keep your dreams big, to focus on what you can do. And when those little snarky voices come up, to just recognize them for what they are, which is just fear patterns looking to keep you in your current status quo. You don't have to listen to them. You don't have to pay attention to them. Just because you think something doesn't mean it's right or true. If you struggle with this, if you struggle with negative thought patterns getting in the way of you taking action, you stepping forward in your dreams, a great book that I recommend that everyone reads is The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. It's the first book I read, 8 or 10 years ago, that helped me realize that just because I was thinking something didn't mean that I had to believe it. It changed my life. So let me know what you think about this. If you struggle with this, let me know in the comments. How can I help? How can I support? If even Meryl Streep can worry about, her being taken seriously, I think we can handle it too, and keep putting ourselves out there, keep taking big leaps. All right, you guys, happy Friday. Have an amazing weekend. I hope to see you again soon. Bye for now.